our numerous affiliates across the country. Coming up this afternoon, Ashanti Regional Chair of the NPP, Bernard Enchiboesiako, hits back at Asin Central MP and flag bearer aspirant Kennedy Egbeta, describes his comment as needless rant. He says he will cause the arrest of Mr. Egbeta should he threaten him again.
Manumi Husami wa MPP, Moya Nkwasiafo, Kwanya Wofaswa with the Kasa, Metro, and you show down. Any adeno and the manintra. Sanyasa now threatening me biwa memeyacho.
A lot more from him, and also Health Committee of Parliament to visit Kolebu Teaching Hospital to ascertain claims dialysis patients have been refunded following backlash over illegal new fees by management of the facility. Also in this package, President Akufo-Addo asks Commonwealth Association to demand unconditional release of ousted President of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum. Details if you stay with us shortly. Many thanks for joining us this afternoon on the bulletin. It's streaming live on Facebook. Our handles 3FM927. Same handles on Twitter as well, 3FM927. I am Eric Mawuena Egbeta. We're beginning on the front of politics because the chair of the governing New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region, Bernard Enchiboesiako, known mostly as Chairman Wontui, says he will cause the arrest of Kennedy Egbeta should he threaten him ever again. The Sin Central MP and flag bearer aspirant of the NPP at a rally last Saturday hit hard at the party and its leading members, accusing them of divisiveness ahead of the presidential primary on November 4.
I dare you to me to make a mistake, and you will see men in this country.
But in a press conference this morning, Chairman Wontumi challenged Kennedy Egbeta to produce evidence of him insulting Alan Chairman team.
Manumi Husami wa MPP, Moya Nkwasiafo, Kwanya Wofaswa with the Kasa, Metro. You show down any adeno and the manintra. Sanyasa now threatening me biwa memeyacho. I have footwo and I'm a demon. Because why I saw Ahmed Sure and money at the swelly as a one no omuni viasibio. And to the amesra ya you say free no quay. And mano and yasa. And as I would say, Ubetima ye bibiazo swa. Anka aya no krasa 2020 no so sa Ashanti na anya dia central region so say in the city central region so na chama wontumi wo ho na mini ho enti dia mesra wo ne say Kennedy kan dia obetimi aye na kan dia obetimi aye na sa wotimi afiri na ene da ya no aye on the 4th enti aka exactly 1 month na ye kwa koto aba no me the masemu ba bewie e wo Ezekiel chapter 18 verse 22. O say Saudi boy ni bese safiri na kwambone so na wafa onyankopon akwan obenya nkwa enti aka 1 month anya se obeluso na mepe na emomu nsema a wo kan ade a wodidi party fo atem polling station fo wanto amame a wagimi ene saa ne ma no sa wo bepa o ma chew na wahwe wakwan a wo betimi afa so a ayade a party fo no wo benya onyankopon animanyam.
That's Chairman Wontumi. He is the NPP chair of the governing New Patriotic Party, speaking to us. Not speaking to us, I should say. Perhaps I'm still in a bit of a mood. But speaking at a news conference this morning, detailing his responses to Kennedy Egbeta. William Evansinkum is my colleague who's been covering that press conference, and we'll be getting a bit more details from him as to exactly what it is that Kennedy Egbeta has been saying. But we'll switch focus for a while and do some other stories for now, because President Akufo-Addo is asking the Commonwealth Association to join forces with ECOWAS and the African Union to demand the immediate and unconditional release of the ousted president of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum. Mr. Bazoum has been in detention since July following a military takeover. Addressing the 66th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference in Accra, Ghana's leader said international bodies cannot sit on the fence and watch unconcerned as democracy deteriorates on the continent.
Through a series of coups d'etats and military interventions in government, which testify to democratic regression. It is in the interest of democratic growth that this development is reversed as soon as possible. And in order so to do, that we give maximum support to ECOWAS, the regional body of West Africa, and the African Union, Africa's continental organization, in their efforts to restore democratic institutions in the affected nations of Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Niger, and Gabon. And also, in whatever dispositions they take to stem the tide of this unwelcome evolution. The Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, indeed, the Commonwealth itself, should join ECOWAS and the African Union demanding the immediate unconditional release from unjustifiable detention of the democratically elected President of the Republic of Niger, His Excellency Mohamed Bazoum. Democracy and the stability that generally accompanies democratic governance are essential for the future prosperity of the African continent.
That's President Akufo-Addo at that ongoing conference. Komala Kluche is a parliamentary affairs correspondent. He's got a lot more on this for us. Komala, many thanks for speaking to us. So we've heard the president speak in relation to security within the sub-region. Can you provide a bit more beyond the president? Which other individuals have been speaking and what they've been saying?
Well, the Speaker of Parliament has equally been speaking on this, and mind you, the 6th CPA conference is been held in Ghana, which is coinciding with our 56th years anniversary. It's a yearly thing. They move from one Commonwealth member country to the other, and this is the grouping of all the MPs who are part of the Commonwealth Association of MPs. Now, one of the major things that the CPA is looking at has to do with the legitimacy of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association after 104 years. Recognition in terms of being an international organization that is able to rub shoulders with the United Nations and also ECOWAS and then the African Union. They want to look at how they are able to make a greater impact beyond just what they need to discuss. And so much of the discussion here, apart from, for instance, security on the continent, and then concerning the Commonwealth countries we're looking at, is to also be able to get a legislation as far as the United Kingdom is concerned. And so when the Parliament of the United Kingdom reconvenes, we are told that they are on break now, but when they reconvene, the expectation is that when the King addresses them, there will be much effort made by him in terms of his statement in the House for a stronger legislation to be made by the British Parliament to give a stronger recognition to the CPA. The Speaker of Parliament has been speaking, and he's equally been making the point that, yes, of course, the issue of insecurity within the continent or within the Commonwealth Association and member countries of concern to them, and looking at Ghana's 30th democracy, parliaments of the Commonwealth countries should be able to fix signals of insecurity and also be able to stem what he described as the takeovers by these illegitimate military organizations who do not have anything to do at all with the democracy that the country should be enjoying. And so he's been asking them that there's a need for them to look at these issues very, very, very strongly.
Right then, Komala Kluche, my colleague in Parliament for us, providing a bit more details on exactly what is happening at the ongoing Commonwealth Parliamentary Network meetings. We're returning to politics and the governing New Patriotic Party because one of the other flag bearer hopefuls of the party, Dr. Owusu-Afriyie, he's admitted the NPP is not in a good standing to retain power in 2024 unless the party presents a candidate who's appealing to Ghanaians based on his good track record. The former Minister of Food and Agriculture, who's one of the 4 candidates contesting in the November 4 presidential primary, says delegates should not be swayed by money. He wants delegates to vote for someone who has a better vision for the party.
The MPP is not in a good place to contest to retain power next year. I understand the concerns expressed by activists on the ground. Now, these activists, that is the party delegates, the executives at the polling station, numbering nearly 200,000, are being asked to cast their vote on the 4th of November to decide who will bear the flag of the MPP. I strongly appeal to the delegates not to be distracted by money, because how much money can anybody give you and how long it is going to last? We want to get to the roots of the problem of this party so that we are assured of the prosperity which will come in due course. Compare the vision of the competitors to make a judgment for yourself. Which one will better this party, will really make this party flourish to the benefit of the people of Ghana? The welfare and prosperity of this party is linked to my life. That's the way I see it. So when party people are complaining on the ground about their denial and their concerns and so on, it really gets to my heart.
That's a flag bearer hopeful of the governing New Patriotic Party, Dr. Owusu-Afriyie, speaking there. And we will connect, like I mentioned, with my colleague, Evan Sinkum in the Ashanti region, who's been following a bit more on that news conference by Chairman Wontumi. But let's do some other stories now here on the news on 3FM 92.7, where Ghana's started processes for the development of a legal framework on the acquisition and management of improvised explosive devices in the country. This has become necessary in the face of increasing terrorist extremism and violence in the Sahel. In Ghana, though there's a national framework for countering violent extremism, it does not provide specific detail on explosives. Deputy Director of the Small Arms Commission, Johnson Asante-Chum, indicate legal specifications are key in reducing the prevalence of these weapons.
This is not just a local matter, it's an international issue as well. And therefore, when you are dealing with it, you need a robust regulation to be able to deal with it, which also require that the judicial service, the criminal justice system need to be trained on the issues to properly understand the context of improvised explosive devices and the measures that need to be taken to deal with it. And then the judicial instrument that they will need to deal with it. So these are measures that we'll put in place after the assessment has been conducted. Usually we have other laws that are broad to deal with certain issues, but you need specifics and you need to be able to pin it down because you are dealing with it within a certain context, which is violent extremism and terrorism within West Africa.
That's the Deputy Director of the Small Arms Commission, Johnson Asante-Chum, as well, speaking there. Grace Hamwa Ajiman is my colleague at that particular engagement. Let's speak a bit more from her, why this framework has become important. Grace, many thanks for joining us. So we've been hearing from the Deputy Director of the Small Arms Commission and the argument about a framework for the legal acquisition and management of some of these IEDs, as the improvised explosive devices. Is it just extremism, the fear of extremism, which is prompting this?
Yes, Mawuena, basically it is the fear of extremism and the fact that these weapons are now in the open. You know, these explosives are produced from the debris of weapons of attack. And so the commission wants to be sure that they are not in the open for easy accessibility from people. We also know that in the last few months, there's been a lot of political uprising in the countries that border Ghana, with Gabon being the latest. And so the commission wants to put its house in order before anything comes to Ghana.
Putting their house in order, this framework, is it ready to be outdoored? What does it entail?
We already have a document that was produced by the Peace Council, but it doesn't give specifications on how to deal with.
Your call has been put on hold. Please wait. Please wait.
Unfortunately, my colleague Grace Amwajiman having a challenge there, and we'll try and connect with her one more time, because she was telling us the National Peace Council already has a framework, but there are certain things that need done in relation to this to allow for it to reach the specifications which addresses the concerns of extremism which has been raised or identified within the Sahel and the likes. And you're listening to the news here on 3FM 92.7. We're streaming live on Facebook. Our handles 3FM 927. Same handles on Twitter as well, 3FM 927. And yesterday, the minority in Parliament, they, as you know it, poured onto the street along with thousands of Ghanaians to demand the resignation of the central bank governor, Dr. Ernest Addison. Unfortunately, they were unable to meet the central bank governor, as according to the director of security at the Bank of Ghana, they were in a meeting with the IMF, a situation that did not sit well with the members of parliament. And they say that they will be coming up with a decision after the group opted not to submit their petition to the Director of Security at the Bank of Ghana due to the absence of the central bank governor. And they have made the case that he's lost touch with reality and displayed a lack of respect to Ghanaians, and that they will be meeting again and decide their next line of action. But out of the many things which came out of the protest yesterday was that the Health Committee of Parliament is to visit the Kolebu Teaching Hospital to ascertain claims by hospital authorities. It has stopped charging dialysis patients unapproved fees. Management of the hospital have come under intense public backlash after it became public that its new fees for dialysis were unapproved by Parliament. Further revelation revealed also that patients had been charged the 765 cedis 42 pesos charge. Speaking to 3FM, the ranking member on the Health Committee, Kwabena Mintakando, said they will insist on a refund for all patients.
So, any public health facility in this country cannot sit down in their offices and fix fees and charges. Every fees and charges must be subjected to what we call the Fees and Charges Act. And from where I sit as a ranking member on the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, Kolebu has not presented any proposal to that effect. And so that amount, 765 Ghana cedis, is illegal. And we have stated that anybody who has paid that amount of money must go back and take his or her money. It is illegal, purely illegal.
Well, yesterday, the kidney or persons who are on dialysis, persons suffering kidney issues, held a news conference where they stated that they are still paying. That's the argument that they made. Is there some action that can be taken from Parliament? You're the representative of the people. If you haven't approved fees and charges and institutions are taking them, and you're having people complaining and stating that this is a death warrant for them, is there a course of action that can be taken by you on the Health Committee and Parliament as a whole?
Yes, so when the issue came up, we issued a warning that they should stop, and from all indications, they claim they have stopped. And so after today's demonstration, the next line of action is that we are going to go to Kolebu Teaching Hospital to ascertain whether or not they have stopped, and then to know whether or not they are putting arrangements in place to refund those who pay the money to them.
And that's you, the minority caucus on the Health Committee?
Well, the Health Committee will be going But I can assure you that we have some number of members from the Minority Committee representing.
Ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Minta Kando. In a similar vein, the member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, he's accusing the Ghana Airport Company Limited of leasing land to a company known as Heaven Builders Limited without parliamentary approval. The MP said documents available to him indicate that the Ghana Airport Company Limited has agreed to lease 38.14 acres to Heaven Builders Limited for 85 million in exchange for the company's help with road construction and the provision of some amenities. He as well spoke to the news team.
They are so bold that they have made a counter offer that 38 acres is not big enough for them. They want 62 acres. Can you believe that? And because of that, the current MD is being threatened with dismissal. And they are insisting that the deal should be hurried through so that they can have 62 acres, which will give them profits in excess of $250 million when they sell those lands. The question is, if the predecessors of these managers at the Ghana Airport Company had engaged in this naked land looting, would any land have been left for even expansion to Terminal 3 where we have now? This is an airport that is growing, that will always need land to expand. And we want to give all away to Heaven Builders and their cronies in government. So we are saying that, first of all, this whole concept should have been brought to Parliament. You have heard Mawuena, he spoke on your station, TV3, and he said, look, we have stolen everything. You've heard Alan Chamatin say that unscrupulous apparatchiks have hijacked the party and are destroying the country. So enough is enough. That's what we are saying. We have absolutely had it now. We will not accept this blatant thievery, this looting, this destruction. I mean, we don't even care about the next generation. What are we leaving for our children? What are we leaving for the young people? Instead of industrializing, instead of showing visionary leadership to alleviate the plight of the people, to bring hope, it's all about personal acquisition, personal amassment of wealth. Looting, self-aggrandizement. We cannot continue this way.
Right. The North-Tongue MP Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, and this is still the news here on 3FM 92.7. We're streaming live on Facebook. Our handles 3FM 927. Same handles on Twitter as well, 3FM 927. And we'll take you up north now because the Dolly Bridge, which was recently washed away by floodwaters following a spillover of a dam in the Savannah region, has been blocked again a few days after its rehabilitation. A long truck in the late hours of Tuesday was involved in an accident in the middle of the bridge and completely blocking access. The bridge links Wa Sola Boli Highway to the north and Kintampo and Techiman to the south. Christopher Marco is our man. He's been following the development there. He's joined us on the telephone line with a bit more details. Chris, double jeopardy in the space of what, 1 month? How are the residents there coping? Yes, Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I'm asking how residents living along these communities are coping, considering this is a major highway, and even the vehicles having to ply the stretch as well. What alternatives do they have?
Yes, so Mawuena, as we speak, hundreds of vehicles have been stranded at the Dolly Bridge, those from the southern parts, that is to say from Techiman, Kintampo, through Bole, heading towards the upper west and neighboring Burkina Faso have all been stuck. And those from Wa heading towards the southern part of the country have also been stuck. Now, the issue has to do with the long track that has blocked the bridge from people accessing the other ends of the highway. Now, for commuters, this is the second time that this incident has occurred, because the first one, the Roads Ministry indicated that work has been done on it, and for that matter, it could take care of the immediate transportation needs of the people. Unfortunately for them, the work done is shoddy, and that the contractor needs to be brought back on site to do a better job, such that long vehicles and smaller ones can all ply the road. As for the alternative route, those from the southern part will have to travel far distance from Pechumai to Kintampo, then they head towards Bupe to Damango Junction, branch towards Damango, then to Sola before they hit the main road again, going to Upper West region. So that is the situation now, Mawuena.
Right then, Chris, is that an indication whether authorities will be moving in to have this removed, considering the blockade this is causing?
As it stands now, there hasn't been any official communication from authorities, especially the Ghana Highway Authority. We are yet to get any official communication from them. So far, no official from the Ghana Highway Authority has equally visited the site to, as it were, make arrangements for any towing of the track. So, but probably as the day goes by, maybe they will take a decision to immediately move to the area and tow the track.
Right then, that's Christopher Marco, a man in the Savannah and Northern regions, providing a bit more details for us. There's some news coming through where the former central bank governor, Dr. Kwabena Dufo, he's chastised the Bank of Ghana for sending its head of security to receive a petition from the minority and protesters on Tuesday. And he contends that the secretary of the bank should have rather been sent to receive the petition in line with the tradition of central banks across the world. He's been speaking to us and he describes the bank's action as unfair to the minority and the Ghanaians who have concerns about the management of the bank. My colleague Duke Mensah Opoku has been engaged in an exclusive interview with him where we're getting these details. Let's try and just get one word or two from Duke, who's been interacting with him. Duke described it as unpleasing and that the secretary should have been sent. What other concerns has he been raising with the central bank and its management over the last few years?
Well, so Dr. Dufo essentially believes that the noise, the cacophony, the discussion, the news, every point in time that surrounds the central bank is not healthy. It doesn't boost investor confidence. And the central bank is a very sacred institution which is at the heart of economic management and financial administration in the country. And so it saddens him that the central bank has been in the news for the wrong reasons, and even allegations of corruption and malfeasance are being attached to the central bank. He thinks that is not on. It would affect the country in terms of the investor confidence and even in terms of the country's place in the Committee of Nations globally. And that must change, and believes Parliament must take a leading role in that. He also, as indicated earlier, said it was wrong, it was unfair, was unjustified for the management of the central bank to have sent the head of security to receive that petition and not the secretary of the bank. The secretary of the bank, who's supposed to be the face of the bank, should have been the one to step down or come down and receive the petition from the protesters on Tuesday, Mawuena.
Right then, Duke, I'm sure we'll be hearing from him and a lot more that he has to say subsequently. But Duke Mensah Opoku, my colleague, with those details, a bit of an apology for not being able to connect with William Evans Sinkum with a bit more on what exactly Bernard Nchibuisiako, who is the Ashanti Regional Chair of the NPP, had to say. But that's our bulletin for you this afternoon. It came to you from our studio here at the John Hammond Street in Accra, at the Sawi Kanda, to be specific. A lot more news as always if you log on to 3news.com. I am Eric Mawuena Egbeta, the business team. They're on standby, ready and waiting. Bismarck Awusa will join us pretty shortly with a bit more details. Stay with us.
Accra gets busy on this frequency. 92.7 3 FM. Accra gets busy on this frequency. 92.7 3 FM.
Hello, good afternoon. It's time now for Business Daily. Coming up, Ghana records 49.5 million cedis losses to cyber fraud as at third quarter of 2023, impacting hugely on businesses.
These are just the losses collated arising from the usual fraud that the general population face.
Also, Bank of Ghana unveils ECD hackathon to tackle financial inclusion challenges. Plus, European Union and government provide 224 housing units for banana farmers at Kasunya Esuchwari in the Shai Osidoku district to boost production for export. I am Bismarck Ausa. Let's settle now for the details. Cyber fraud cases recorded as a third quarter of the year is costing the country almost 50 million cedis. That's according to the Cybersecurity Authority. Speaking at the launch of the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, Director General Dr. Albert Enchiboisiako revealed that the financial sector is the most hit, hence the need for appropriate financing as part of efforts to build a resilient cyberspace.
The total monetary losses arising from this period stands at 49.5 million Ghana cedis. Please, these are just the losses collated arising from the usual fraud that the general population face. It does not include the attacks against our critical institutions where money are stolen or network systems and services are disabled. And these are also direct losses, the 500 Ghana cedis, the 1,000 Ghana, the 2,000 that people are losing through Momo fraud. So it represents a very minute fraction of the losses within the entire ecosystem. During the same period, the Capacity Building Awareness Creation Division of the authority engaged a total of 257,984 individuals in a number of sensitization activities, in collaboration with a number of MDAs.
And that was Director General of National Cybersecurity Authority, Dr. Albert Enchiboisiako. Moving on, the Bank of Ghana has partnered with MTech Solutions Incorporated to launch the ECD Hackathon. According to the central bank, this will be a 12-week innovation challenge designed to unleash the potential of central bank digital currency. The following Business Desk report has more.
The Bank of Ghana, through this collaborative endeavor, is inviting fintechs, developers and innovators to craft groundbreaking solutions that address Ghana's financial inclusion challenges. According to the central bank, during the ECD Hackathon, participants will embark on a creative journey to explore the multifaceted applications of central bank digital currency, CBDC technology. It says the event serves as a platform for developers, innovators and blockchain enthusiasts to demonstrate their ingenuity and contribute to the evolution of Ghana's digital financial ecosystem. A hackathon, renowned for its time-bound intensity, gathers individuals and teams across various disciplines to collaborate on innovative projects, often revolving around technology, software development, or complex problem solving.
And that was a Business Desk report. Now, the minority in Parliament has accused the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, for pushing some 850,000 Ghanaians down the poverty line. This minority leader, Ato Forson, noted that this has come about as a result of mismanaged monetary policy and banking and financial sector cleanup. He made the comments after the Occupy BOG demonstrators were unable to present their petition to Governor.
The Central Bank of Ghana today is bankrupt technically. You are insolvent. You have a negative equity of 55.1 billion Ghana cedis and a loss 1 year of 60 billion Ghana cedis. You have again projected to incur additional debt in the year 2023 and counting. We will not allow you going forward to disrespect us and mismanage the affairs of the people of Ghana. Your Act, Bank of Ghana, has indeed pushed 850,000 Ghanaians down the poverty line. And we will hold you accountable, particularly the governor. We are demanding his exit.
And that was Minority Leader of Parliament, Ato Forsen there. Meanwhile, an economist at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Godfred Bokpin, has observed the happenings at the Bank of Ghana are a reflection of the general economy. He noted that the central bank cannot be observed from the current economic downturn facing the country.
Largely, you can associate with the sentiment that from a technical and professional point of view, it has been our position for some time now that the central bank has been too accommodating. That for this level of crisis, this level of, if you see what has happened to the balance sheet of the central bank, it's a reflection of the general economic crisis. And therefore, for something like this to happen, it certainly has to take the supportive role of the central bank to physical slippages or excesses for it to happen. And once you see from that perspective, then it means that the checks and balances in terms of monetary side and the fiscal side have been compromised. And therefore, it's very difficult to absorb the central bank from all of this. And I personally, even before the minority held their position, more than 6 months ago or so, we had maintained that the central bank's performance has been suboptimal and that they could have done better.
And that was economist at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Godfred Bokpin. This is still Business Daily with me, Bismarck Ausa. Before we go, the European Union has partnered with the government of Ghana to provide 224 housing units for banana farmers and their families at Kasunya, Isuchari in the Shai Osudoku district. The project, named the Banana Accompanying Measures, is to improve Ghana's competitiveness in banana exports as the country receives preferential tariff treatment from the European market. The objective of the Banana Accompanying Measures is to improve the living conditions of farmers in Ghana, alleviate rural poverty, and promote sustainable rural development. The project is also expected to provide sustainable employment. The European Union Ambassador to Ghana, Echad Razali, highlighted the significance of the partnership in empowering local communities.
Over the years, the competitive edge of Ghana has been decreasing due to international trade. And as Ghana is one of the key partners of the European Union when it comes to trade, when it comes to development, when it comes to job creation as well, we wanted to give a push for Ghana, the government, the workers, the private company to increase or to maintain this level of competitiveness in order to ensure access to the European market, to the Ghanaian bananas.
Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry expressed gratitude for the support and emphasized the program's transformative impact.
As an exporter of banana to the EU community and to support the golden exotic to be able to produce more and export more, we had to look at the operation cost so that the Ghanaian banana can be competitive in the EU market as well as any other market that it will be shelved in the store. If any extra person buys the Ghanaian banana, it is an extra job created and an extra job maintained. So we do not underestimate the impact of this whole industry.
In 2010, the Commission adopted the Banana Accompanying Measures, a support package for 10 banana exporting countries from the African, Caribbean, and Pacific group of states. A report on the Banana Accompanying Measures by the European Union, ending Business Daily with me, Bismarck Ausa. For more business stories, please log on to 3news.com. Thanks for the company.